All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Global Entrepreneur Toastmasters. I'd like to first go around the room and very, very briefly have our guests. We have 3 guests here today. They can stand up, just introduce themselves, tell us how you found us, and a little bit about yourself and what brings you here to our meeting today. So I would ask Roy, if you could lead us off. Tell us a little about yourself.
My name is Roy Fisher. I'm a real estate broker. I've experienced Toastmasters about 10 years ago. I joined for about 3 years because I was going to have to do a 2-hour presentation at a major convention and wanted to be sure I was going to be capable of doing so, especially since it was an extremely unpopular topic that I was presenting. Worked out very well. And even though nobody really liked my ideas, at least they respected the way I was able to perform it. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Second, Rita, if you could tell us about yourself a little bit.
I'm Rita Sammy. I work as an IT business analyst. Usually I was a developer, so this change kind of made me, and drove the management to say that I need more communication skills. So looking forward to that, and that's my first time to join Toastmasters.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, our Area H1 Governor for 2012-2013, Mr. Peter Lynn.
Yes, my name is Peter Lynn. I'm Area Governor, come to visit the club. I have been with Toastmasters almost 60 years. I have been like VP Education President for the club, and this is the first year as a governor. I am with Southern California Edison. I'm an IT project manager.
Thank you, Peter. Welcome. So with that, we're going to get right to it, and we look at the agenda today. I'm going to lead it off. We're going to call for everyone to stand for the invocation and for the pledge. And to give the invocation, check code is running a little bit late today. So I would ask if Adolfo, if you could lead us in a brief invocation, and then Beatrice, can you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come here to this room today and to enhance our public speaking capabilities and leadership skills. Thank you for letting us into this adventure of advancing in our skills, and for allowing us also to share and to help each other in doing so. Helping us all, in God's name, amen.
Thank you.
The pledge of allegiance to the flag. So put your hand on your heart, your right hand on your heart. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Adolfo. So getting right to it, I'd like to introduce our Toastmaster of the day today. Now for the guests, we have 2 that are familiar with Toastmasters, but Rita, the Toastmasters essentially is the MC, or the Master of Ceremonies, the person who keeps things moving, keeps things on time, looks at the agenda, announces the different roles, and essentially is the gatekeeper for the meeting. And today's Toastmaster of the day is one of our dynamic younger members, a very strong speaker, a strong presenter, someone who's shown a lot of improvement already in the short time he's been with us. And I believe, I don't know if this is his first opportunity to be Toastmaster, but you won't be able to tell because he's going to be really, really good. I can introduce you, Mr. Scott Jonakuch.
Alright, thank you everyone. This is my first time being Toastmaster for the day, so I won't be as smooth as Peter mentioned, but I'll do my best. So, of course, what we want to do here is to start the meeting off right. We want to make sure we're all on the same page here with what Toastmasters is about, especially with our guests. I'd love to know what the goals and what Toastmasters is all about. So first, I'd like to call on Mr. Eric Wong to read off the mission statement.
Toastmasters mission statement. The mission. Toastmasters mission statement. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual member has the opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth.
Thank you, Eric. Next, we'd like to call in the all counter, and then today we're going to have
Viole's not here today, so if we could get a volunteer for Beatrice. tell us the role of the odd counter?
Okay, I've become a little more confident this time because I know where to find it. Let me introduce the aha counter to you guys. The word itself should say, not to use words like just now I used a few days ago I went to my son's induction for his college, and there was this tall, dark man standing there, a boy-ish guy, young guy, and he was introducing us to the college, and he looked so stunning, and I was like, wow, look at this guy. And then he started talking. The moment he opened his mouth, that really just shut me off, because he kept on using the word every little while, blah 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 and I was like, should I start counting his or should I just recommend him to Toastmasters and get over with it? Okay, so here what's going to happen is the purpose of the aha counter is to note words and sounds used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, Sounds may be as I'm just kidding. I don't know if anyone uses that, but yeah. And another word we have to include there is cough. And that's what some of the people do when they get nervous. You should also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, or this means. That's all.
Thank you.
Beatrice?
Okay, next we have our grammarian, Peter.
Chuck Cota will be here. He's going to be serving grammarian, but I'm going to pinch hit for him just for the time being. And the grammarian's role is to first find a word of the day, and it's going to be a word that probably isn't in very common usage, and we will not utilize that. Hey! Mr. Chuck Cota, one of our club's mentors, and from Club 20 in Montebello. Chuck, I had you down for grammarian. I got a word up there for you.
Okay.
And I'll take over this part, then you can take it from here. But the word of the day today is reticent. Can you say that with me? Reticent. And reticent is something that most people at Toastmasters generally are not, which is someone who's inclined to keep silent or reserved, uncommunicative, or restrained or reserved in style. And sometimes reticent is a good thing, especially if you're in a position where you're in a dialogue or you're in a negotiation, and often it can be very effective as a negotiating term to be the quiet one taking in what you're hearing. So an example of the usage would be the member of parliament was uncharacteristically reticent in defending his position. So the one key you want to keep on for the word of the day today is that when we do table topics, that Beatrice will be chairing our table topic session, which is our impromptu speaking session, you'll want to incorporate this word into your answer. So for table topics, you want to make sure that you utilize the word reticent in your answer in order to qualify for the coveted and almost priceless ribbon that will be offered to the best table topics. So that is the role of the grammarian. And I'll transfer into the timer role next. And the timer also is someone that keeps track of time for speeches. We use the lighting system here. And the reason that's important, as all of you know who have done different presentations, like Roy was saying, you had to do a 2-hour presentation. When you speak outside of Toastmasters, a lot of times you have time requirements, either a minimum or a maximum. So it's important to be aware of your time as you speak. So our speeches today, Adolfo, how long? Okay, Adolfo has an advanced speech today. His first speech is the advanced speech manual. So his is 2 to 3 minutes. So he will get the green light at 2 minutes. He will get the yellow light at 2.5 minutes, and he will get the red light at 3 minutes, and he'll have 30 seconds to wrap up from that point. Now the other 2 speeches today will be 5 to 7 minutes. Eric and Adolfo, 5 minutes, you guys get green, 6 minutes yellow, 7 minutes red, and you have 30 seconds from that point to wrap up. Our table topics, 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute, you get the green, so make sure you speak to the green light for minimum. At 1.5 minutes, you get the yellow light. At 2 minutes, you get the red, 30 seconds to wrap up from that point. And finally, our evaluators today, those are 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes, you get the green light. 2.5, you get the yellow. 3 minutes, you get the red, and 30 seconds to wrap up from that point. And finally, I'll do the vote counting as well today, which is very easy. For those who qualify for best speaker, best table topics, best evaluator, we have ballots. We'll pass this basket around. Please vote for your best in each of those categories, and we'll tally them up at the end and present ribbons at the conclusion of the meeting. And that includes our guests. You guys have every right to vote for the qualifying candidates as well in that. And I believe that is it.
All right.
One question.
Yes.
Can you explain this to the newcomers?
Oh, yes. The ballot that you see before you. The bottom part is actually the part that we use for the voting. The top part is where you can give your own feedback to the speakers. Especially important to the speakers, I think, is if you have a little bit of feedback, maybe jot down one thing you really liked about their speech, and maybe one thing you'd like to see them improve on. And that kind of feedback can be very effective, especially for the new speakers. So this ballot is not only for voting for your best in each category, but also for voting for, or for giving feedback and evaluating for the speakers, or for the Toastmaster, or for the evaluators. Is that it?
Thank you, Peter. Got many hats today, so definitely want to thank you for that. So without further ado, we want to go ahead and start with our main speeches for today. We have Eric Wong give the speech number 2, and he's going to be evaluated by, who he is evaluated?
Everyone. I'll take it.
By Peter?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll be evaluating by our area governor Peter. So Peter, would you like to go ahead and briefly explain the purpose of Eric's speech today?
The project is called Organize Your Speech. Objective: select an appropriate outline which allows listeners to easily follow and understand your speech. Make your message clear with supporting material directly contributing to the message. Use appropriate transition when moving from one idea to another. Create a strong opening and conclusion.
All right, thank you. Without further ado, let's welcome Eric Wong to the front.
How many of you guys have seen the Olympics? It's a pretty big deal now. Yeah, everyone raising their hand. It's a pretty big deal. You know, it just started last week, and I don't know about you guys, but I have been watching the Olympics non-stop. It's addicting. I just see, wow, all these buff athletes, all these women gymnastics who can do crazy flips, and all the guys who can do all the crazy poses, like the Iron Cross. Well, today, I wanted to talk to you about getting into shape. Maybe you won't be as buff as, you know, a crazy gymnast Olympian, but you can feel as successful as an Olympian if you get out there, get in shape, and work out. And so, the first step to getting into shape is to start. A lot of people think, working out is too much, or I need to do it, but I just don't. So the first step is to start. Taking that first step is the biggest step into getting healthy. A 3-mile run, because I used to run cross country, begins with the first step, and the first step is the most important. And so a lot of people feel fear or embarrassed, like to run in front of their friends, or just run and people in the neighborhood see them and they get scared. But they shouldn't, because this is for you. You're getting in shape for yourself. And so you put those excuses aside and start creating results for yourself. And so to do that, you have to sort of change your psychology to how you think about running or how you think about exercising. You have to think of it as not something that other people are judging you on, but something that will make you stronger and something that will give you confidence when you overcome it. And so I recommend, if you want to get into shape, to start a little bit each day. My mom said, or she met this trainer who said, start with 5-10 minutes each day and then build up. Michael Phelps, we all know Michael Phelps from the Olympics. He didn't start with a crazy swim, like 400 meters on its own. He probably started with, you know, 1 lap, or just warm up, 1 lap, cool down, and that was his full workout. So getting started is the first step. Next, I suggest that you inform yourself about what you're working out on. See, in cross country, I ran cross country in high school, just in case you didn't know, and one thing that my coach focused on was form. Form in running is everything. If you have bad form, then it's really likely that you'll get injured, and it'll prevent you from reaching your full potential. And so I would recommend that you would read books to inform yourself, or probably the best way to get yourself into shape and exercising is having a personal trainer. Someone who can mentor you and show you how to do all the ways to get into shape, like working out or running. And so that is a very important aspect, because if you don't know what you're working out on, then it's really possible that you'll do it wrong. A lot of us believe that we can do it right, especially the guys in the room. You know, we can just, you know, know it sort of consciously. And a third thing that's really important to get into shape is making goals. Goals are, to me, the most important thing to do in life when you're achieving something. Goals are something to work towards, and without goals, you're sort of working without doing anything. Goals, okay, in cross country, I have a little story here. In cross country, we had camp, and we would all get in a room and talk about our goals. And it was really weird for the guys, because the girls, they would separate guys and girls, and the girls would be over here talking about their goals, talking about their feelings, they'd be crying, and they'd be, like, the guys would just be like, why are they crying? Like, we're just saying goals, say what we want to achieve, but, you know, to girls it means a lot more. There's a lot more emotion into that, and I realized after that cross-country camp that goals are really what you strive for. Goals are what you achieve and what you put all your hard work into. It's something that you become proud of. And so that was a really important experience for me, and it made me realize that that's an important thing to get into shape for. And so, in conclusion, you know, it's time to get into shape, and once you make your goals and take that first step, you can keep going, become a healthy person, and maybe not as buff as an Olympian, but you can have the same feeling of achievement and feel as strong as an Olympian. Thank you.
Awesome. I know it's halfway through summer, so I'm assuming we still have time to have that summer body, so don't give up yet, right? Set that goal for the summer to give up. So next, we're going to have our second speaker, Jesse Alvarado, doing speech number 5, Your Body Speaks. And his evaluator will be by, let's see,
Elmer.
I'll go ahead and evaluate him as well. So.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
So Jesse, I think speech number 5 is Your Body Speaks. So I believe the description for it is to use your body language, right? Body language is a very big deal.
It's actually number 4.
Number 4, okay.
Yeah, speech number 4.
Okay, speech number 4, which is,
I'll read it. The objectives are select the right words and sentence, structure that to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. Time is 5 to 7 minutes.
awesome. All right. So, without further ado, welcome.
And the name of the speech is My Vacation in Hawaii.
My Vacation in Hawaii. Awesome. Awesome.
Ready? All right, there you go.
Go Jesse.
Thank you. Okay, well, good afternoon, Toastmasters and honored guests. My name is Jesse Alvarado, and I'll be doing my speech number 4. Okay. Would you agree with me that Hawaii is a great place for a vacation?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I want to describe to you my experience that I have with my family in Hawaii. My wife Lulu, my daughter Ashley, 13 years old, my daughter Marie, Ashley Stan, and myself. Here we are walking down towards the beach, the Waikiki Beach in Hawaii, barefooted, walking on the warm sand, carrying our beach bag, carrying my ice chest. My daughter's carrying an inner tube, a floating inner tube, and myself on top of that, carrying the ice chest and a beach umbrella. So here we are walking, and then at the same time, it's about over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Very warm day. I get to see at the same time, I get to see a lot of people there, having a lot of fun. Some people are surfing, some people are swimming, some people are just lying down on the sand, under the umbrella, just on the chair, reading a book. I see some other people relaxing, just, also just enjoying other people having fun. So here we are walking towards the beach, looking for a perfect spot. At this time, that place is packed. There's really no place available. Here we're walking. Finally, here we are, find a perfect spot. And now we're getting situated. I pull out my umbrella. Then I start pulling out my beach towels, put them on the sand. Then I place my ice chest. Then pull out my Santan lotion. Then we start putting on Santan lotion on the body. We're getting ready to go to the water. Once we're ready, then create a little competition. Very excited. Let's see who gets first to the water. Guess who won? I didn't. Just kidding. But it was fun. It was so exciting just to go to the water. We carry an inner tube. Get this nice floating big inner tube. Then here it is. I put my daughter Ashley on the inner tube, and we using the ocean waves to push it up the shore for a nice free ride. That's it. So we take turns. We do that. We take turns. The next is my turn. So they push. I get on the inner tube. They push me, and there I go. About 30 minutes. Just kidding. 30 seconds. And then it was a short little ride, but we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing that. Then next, we do that for a couple hours. Then we decide, you know what? Let's go snorkeling. I said, you know what? That's a great idea. We get all our gatherings, and here we go to another location. It's Hauma Bay. It's a place that is strictly for snorkeling. We go to our car, we drive there, get all belongings, do the same thing, place everything. Here we are, putting our goggles on. Then what do you call those? The fence on your foot. Is that what they call them? I'm not sure, but the fence and the breathing tube to go snorkeling, something in your mouth. Here we go in the water, and I diving slowly, and at the same time I get to see, once I go in the water, I get to see this beautiful fish, different colors, some red, blue, yellow. It's just amazing to see different size of fish and the water. And the amazing thing is, this fish, they're not afraid of people. They're just right there. And I see that it's amazing to see what's underneath all this water. In fact, there's beautiful rocks underneath this water. That location right there, there's special rocks that somehow they're there because at one point in time there was a volcano eruption that somehow created all these rocks. And somehow that bay became a special location for this type of fish. So here we are, just having a lot of fun at snorkeling, experiencing, seeing different fish, and at the same time having a lot of fun. But that time it was already dark. We had to go to our hotel room. The next day is Sunday afternoon, about 1 o'clock. We go you go shopping. You go to this place where there's about 100 different stores. And this place has so many souvenirs, different home decorations created out of seashells, different sizes, different styles. The seashells are colorful, some blue, red, green. It's just amazing to see like this, this seashells can be created in the ocean and be so beautiful. Almost look like someone painted that. But they're original and really, really polished in a way that it's just really amazing that that kind of creation is underneath the ocean. And also we were able to see that there's a lot of souvenirs. For instance, keychains, money clips, tie clips. And I mean, you want to bring everything home. Fortunately, can't do that. But it was just amazing to see all the stuff that you can buy and appreciate that it's created. It's a lot about some glass designs they created, like spirals that you hang it like in the porch of the house. It just sound with the wind, it just spins around beautifully. It's like, man, I want to buy some of those, but it could break. And yeah, it was an awesome experience to see all of that. Then we enjoyed taking the tour. And we said, you know what, let's go take a tour. Then we go take a tour. And we go see different places. And we get to see waterfalls, really beautiful waterfalls. And then we get to see the biggest and most famous waves that there are in Hawaii. You get to see people that love surfing. And they strictly go to that location for surfing because there's huge waves and there's no room for that. So I get to see that. Then we take another tour to a botanic garden. I get to see these beautiful plants, beautiful trees, the fruit trees that I've never seen in my life. I also enjoy doing that. At the same time, I get to see this fascinating green mountains, beautiful green mountains there. Then I get to see clear water and beautiful waterfalls. It's just amazing to see this, all this creation, somewhere out there that I've never seen in my life. As you can see, my experience that I had with my family, which included swimming, sightseeing, and shopping, can definitely show us that Hawaii is a great place for vacation. Thank you. Toastmasters.
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. So Hawaii is definitely a beautiful place. Had a chance to be there a few years with my family, and definitely it's one place I want to go back almost every year, right?
Awesome.
Definitely. So next, I'd like to go out to introduce Adolfo, one of our senior members, will be doing an advanced communication speech. So we'll be evaluated by Michael Tan.
Yep. So Adolfo is doing project 1 in the special occasion speeches. The project title is Mastering the Toast. His objective is to recognize the characteristics of a toast as well as present a toast honoring an occasion or a person. And the title was Instructions on Public Speaking? ?
Awesome.
All right.
Let's go ahead and welcome Adolfo.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmaster members and distinguished guests. I would like to make a toast, but before doing that, I'd like to experience with you and share with you my experience about the Global Entrepreneur Toastmaster Club. I was invited to this club, and I joined this club believing that I was going to be given instructions on public speaking. Instruction on public speaking. Is that it? Is that it? Well, I quickly learned that there was more to it. There was more than just public instructions on public speaking. I learned that, first of all, I got to meet new friends in this club. I also got to learn leadership skills. I also discovered that I had the opportunity to help in events like speech contests and also participate at the officer level. But most important, I believe, was the opportunity I had to help people help themselves in this event. Also, a very awesome experience that I had in this club is the energy that you receive in the club, where you can share the energy, you can receive it, you can put it back in the public, and the public give it back to you. I have experienced that, and that's amazing. I will also say that the most important element, I think, is being the fact that this is a global entrepreneur Toastmasters. Global, why global? Because it is not just what you experience and learn in the club, but the opportunity you have then to touch and influence and change the world around you. What gives you also, if you notice, there is the entrepreneur aspect of it. And the entrepreneur is what I referred just a minute ago, is to me entrepreneurship is energy. You feel the energy in this. So I would like you to grab your imaginary cup or glass, raise it in the air, and I would like to propose a toast to our Global Entrepreneur Toastmaster Club. May it continue to offer infinitely more than public speaking instructions.
Cheers, everybody. Yes, I know every culture has their way of doing the cheers. I know in my culture we always yell banzai, which means I think 1,000 years of good luck or prosperity. So thank you, Adolfo. All right, next we'd like to go to our think quick, talk quick portion of our meeting. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce, or Timer's report. Okay, so Timer's report for speeches.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Eric spoke for 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Jesse spoke for 7 minutes and 14 seconds, and Adolfo for 2 minutes and 27 seconds. So all three speakers did qualify for time. So if you could please utilize your ballot, vote for who you felt was the best speaker among the three, and I will pass the gold basket around to everyone. And please put in your vote for best speaker. And if you could, maybe make a little note or two, jot down a note what you thought of each one of the speakers on that, and then you can present that to them at the end of the meeting.
All right, thanks very much. So in the meantime, while they're collecting votes for the best speaker, I'd like to go ahead and introduce Beatrice. Right? I always love her energy, and I know this is her first time being the Triple Topics Master. I know she has a lot of great questions to ask everybody here. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Beatrice to be our Triple Talk Master for today.
Yeah. Do I have to?
That's very end.
Oh, it's the end.
Very end.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Let me take a deep breath. Okay, so I'm here as your table topic master or mistress. No, I would say master. Mistress sounds too degrading. All right, so this is the most exciting part of our Toastmasters meeting. Why I love it personally is because it's very challenging. You have to wear your thinking caps, and which is very important when we go in the outside world, and helps me a lot because I'm always put on the spot. Like my profession as a pastor, I get so many countless questions on the spot, and I have to be prepared and answer sensibly, intelligently, which is, I'm trying to get there. So I'm sure this time is going to be that exciting and that invigorating, and you have to put your thinking caps on. So the game is like this. First of all, I need to know the players, or should I just pick random? So I pick random. I have some questions, okay, that I'm going to throw out. This is for the benefit of my guests who don't know about table topics. So I'm going to throw out some questions random and pick a person, and they're going to come here and talk for minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes. And Peter's going to do the timer. You're going to explain, or should I just go ahead with that? Okay, so when you see the green light, you're at 1 minute. And when you see the amber light, you're at 1 minute, 30 seconds. And when you see the red light, you're at 2 minutes. And you have 30 seconds grace time to wrap up. So am I clear on that? So let's go with the first question. What's the difference between Obama and Osama? I was just kidding. Are you thinking I was? Actually, it's a BS, both BS question. So, okay, now comes the reality of the show. Let me go to the first question. You got me, right? Okay. If you were given one wish in the world, what would that be? Okay, if you were given one wish, just one wish in the world, what would that be? Let me see. Let me see the smart faces. May I call Roy to come over and give us a little bit of a break?
Thank you, Beatrice. Great job. There's a lot of things you can wish for. A lot of categories you can wish for. Success, beautiful wife, happy kids. But it kind of reminds me that when you get a question like that, the first thing you have to do, as I said, think of the category. What does it mean to have a wish? And if it could come true, what would that wish mean? Because there is that old saying, be careful of what you wish for, you just might get it.
Yeah.
And any of you who are conscious of goal setting, you probably, before you came to understand goal setting, you probably really screwed it up. You put yourself in a lot of really bad situations because what you wished for, you got. I hate my job. And then you're out of work. I hate my wife. And then you're out of marriage. You know, those kind of things. So, but it also reminds me of the old joke, probably one of the oldest jokes, where the guy who rubs the magic lamp, he's got 3 wishes, and of course, now he's got money, he's got fame. Now what is he going to wish for? And as you're thinking about it, it may occur to you that you could ask for the impossible. 3 more wishes.
Did you have to shake your hand? Okay. Wow, that was awesome. Okay, next question. Let me see. You know, we go into relationships for different reasons, right? We get into relationships for different reasons. Let me make it really short for you and easy. Love or money, what would you choose? Okay, so that's your question. Love or money, what would you choose? So can I have eeny, meeny, miny, Rita.
All right.
Love or money?
Love or money. Oh.
Okay. Well, as I introduced myself, I'm behind 2 screens, so it's kind of different for me here. I did a couple of presentations, but let me answer this one. If I get to choose love or money, I will not choose one of them. Definitely. Love alone is hard to accomplish if you don't have the stability of life, because what a lot of marriages end because of anxiety, because of job loss, because of depression, and one of them is depressed work. It really affects the relationship. And if you're going for money, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to live with that person. So it's simple. Either both or none.
Oh, I was supposed to shake your hand. Sorry, that's the norm, the tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
I have time for another one, Toastmaster?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Do you believe in creation or evolution? Is that a good question? Yeah, good. Can I have, let me see, who didn't get a chance to speak? Can I have Peter to answer that?
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, creation or evolution. As a scientist, I believe in evolution. People keep using the Bible Genesis as the God created the world and want us to believe God created the world in 7 days. But I keep thinking about God actually is probably created by human being, because when we don't have an answer, we create a God to explain it. And evolution really has something you can prove and evidence. You show step by step everything logically repeatable and can convince everyone with some number or proof or something. And I believe in evolution because of that. And I have this kind of debate every time when I have a cell group meeting with my wife. They tend to be more creation, that kind of type. And I believe that is, if we can combine this together, make all the creation and evolution use the same kind of philosophy, such that all the items in the Bible, you can prove it, or you can really reproduce it. Miracle, that's one. Those kinds of prediction in the last chapter of the Bible. But those things are simply unachievable. So make scientists very difficult to believe it 100%, because many of the things simply miss MYTH, such that I'm willing to accept it and believe it, but it doesn't have enough evidence to make me believe.
Okay, let me confess something. I made a blunder. Oh, it wasn't my fault. I don't know, but I didn't tell you guys about using the word for the day. So you're almost supposed to incorporate this word for the day in your speech, and I forgot to say.
But Peter, that's
Peter's
Peter's job, and he did
okay.
it.
All right, so I'm free from the guilt. So I'm okay then. So can I give the controls over to our
Timer and Mary.
Oh, I have to do
real
that.
quick.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Okay, timer's report. Roy spoke for 1 minute 32 seconds. Rita spoke for 43 seconds. And Peter spoke for 2 minutes flat. So Roy and Peter did qualify for time. Rita didn't quite get to the 1 minute minimum. Usually what I tell people is just keep going until the green light goes on. And that way you may reach the minimum time. And it's good practice. That way you don't cut it too short. Now, word of the day, as we mentioned, neither Roy, Rita, or Peter did use the word of the day. So we did not have anyone qualified for best table topics this week. And again, it's not your job to remind them about word of the day. That's the grammarian's job. And hopefully I was complete enough in making it clear that when you do table topics, you want to incorporate reticent into your answer. So if there was an opportunity to improve on that, to let everybody know that that's required, please let me know after the meeting. We can find a way to make it a little more clear. But at this point, we had nobody qualified for best table topics only because the word of the day was not incorporated into the answer. Thank you.
I hand over to the awesome Toastmaster.
Thank you, Beatrice.
So welcome.
Give her an applause. Okay, next we'll go to our evaluation portion of our meeting. Especially with the Olympics going on, I know it's a big topic, and seeing all the professional athletes, it's good to get feedback on what they could or couldn't do. And I know Chuck is definitely one of the more veterans at this, so let's go ahead and introduce Chuck to be our general evaluator for our meeting.
Yeah, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Well, first of all, as evaluator, I failed because I got here late, and one of the jobs of the general evaluator is to be here on time. So the general evaluator can tell you if the meeting started on time or not. So I'm going to ask you, did the meeting start on time?
10 minutes late.
Okay. It's important for meetings to start on time. It's important for everybody to be on time. I apologize for that, but also on the word of the day, it is Peter's job to say that, and he did it. He did it very well. I heard him say it. But I always request that the person that's doing the table topics remind the group when they first start. Now, if you forget to remind the first person, you can't remind the second person.
Oh, point of order, Chuck. Could we say the general evaluation for after the speech
Okay,
evaluations?
yes. I apologize for that. You know, I'm used to doing this in another format, and that's, so thank you for reminding me of that. I'll remember next time. Okay, at this time, our first evaluator was to be Bobby, but he's not here. So who's doing the evaluation of our first?
That is Peter.
Peter. Peter, would you please come and do the evaluation for, is it Eric?
Yes.
Yes, Eric.
Fellow Toastmaster Eric, this project is to talk about organize your idea, and I congratulate you successfully organized a speech with strong opening, with main body, and with very good ending. The opening is very appropriate at this time as the Olympic in London is in progress, and everybody is so inspired watching the TV every day, and just like you are, I'm also watching that. And that makes your speech most valuable and most empowering at this time. And you call everybody's attention at the very first minute with a question, do you watch the Olympic game? And I think that's a very good opening. And in the body, you also have your main idea about how to achieve your fitness goal with a start, with a knowing how to, and with set up a goal. And then at the conclusion, you also enhance or persuade us such that if you achieve the goal, you will feel better about it. And I think the body, the organization is really good. If I can give suggestion is if you can make this a more persuasive, more inspiring, with a stronger ending, such that the people will feel like to do it, because having good health will make you live better, live longer, and all other benefits you can do. So with a purpose, rather than kind of informational speech, you make it a persuasive speech will make the speech much stronger and powerful.
Some very good suggestions there. Now, our second evaluator is, was that you? Okay, Scott. Okay, Scott, would you please come?
Sure. For today's speech for Jesse Alvarado, his speech was My Vacation in Hawaii. I'm sure a lot of us, especially summertime season, this is the time that we all kind of pick and choose, where do we want to go, right? We can all travel the world, visit local places. I know for Jesse, he took his family to Hawaii, right, over a vacation. So with vacation, I think with experience, it's all about when you tell somebody about it, especially when you come back, people say, well, how was it? And you want to kind of describe your experience and all of its beauty and magnificence. And I think Jesse did a very good job of describing, you know, all the activities and things that he experienced at Hawaii. So one being with his family, of course, with tubing, going as well. For himself, experiencing tubing for the first time, doing a new activity. Next is just the overall ocean, the nature, enjoying the beauty of Hawaii, all the different colors. So I think Jesse did a really good job just kind of describing what he saw, what he experienced when he was there in Hawaii, because obviously it's a lot more different than reading on brochure or watching videos. Being there is definitely how you want to, the best way to describe it is being there yourself. From all the activities to shopping, seeing the different seashells, and having the tour. So the great thing about it was that, it was very simple to understand, very easy. I could really see myself kind of being there too, and I think that's the purpose of it, is that if you were to close your eyes and listen to Jesse's speech, could you imagine all the different things that's going on?
And I think if you do that, then it's a very effective speech. One thing I would definitely go out there and maybe work on is, I guess, pacing back and forth. So I noticed that he was, back and forth, and I wanted to kind of focus on him. So if you kind of limit that, and if you do need a pace, make sure it's to make a very strong point, or you want to, describe something more in detail. Another thing as well is, I know a lot of times he was describing kind of what he's seeing, but also it's about how you feel too, right? When you're in the ocean, how does it make you feel? Relaxed or peaceful, or right, just to kind of get away from the normal stress of life. So if you kind of have a little more feeling, descriptions really match as well, and it really puts you in that mood at the same time. But overall, I really liked the vacation as well. For me, I think that's probably the next vacation I'm going to check off for me to go to. Hawaii is definitely a place to visit if you haven't been there as well. And aside from that, thank you, Jesse, for sharing your experience.
Very good pointers there. And for our Toastmaster, who is the evaluator for?
Michael.
Michael? Oh, and you are then, I'm sorry, Michael. Yes, so would you please come up?
Yep.
And toast.
I have a toast prepared. So Adolfo's speech was about 2 to 3 minute toast. And so the beginning, the first question, I'm going to follow through the questions of my evaluation. The beginning was asking, the first question is asking how well did the speaker indicate the occasion of the person being toasted. And I was so focused in on you that I might have missed somewhat what you were toasting. And also with a combination of title, instructions on public speaking, I wasn't really sure what the toast was going to be. But as you went further on in the speech, adding more details about Toastmasters, and definitely at the end with the conclusion, it was definitely very clear as to what the purpose of the toast was for. Like I said, the details, very strong. I could feel that it was a very personalized toast and very relevant for all of us, given that we are all going through this experience together. We started new events, meeting new people help themselves, the energy that you felt from the meetings and meeting new people. I thought that was really, it was just good to compliment Toastmasters, given that we're here experiencing it with you. You broke down global entrepreneurs for us, and definitely, I took it just as global entrepreneurs. I didn't really see it as in-depth as you, and now that you've sort of changed my perspective, I think that's what's very good about a toast, is also sharing your perspective with the audience and letting them see things and have it be a bit more enlightening. You effectively used eye contact, I felt. I think your vocal variety wasn't too loud. You were able to go up and down, up and down. I think the only improvement I would make on the vocal variety was maybe in the beginning. Personally, I feel toast should exude more excitement in the beginning, and maybe more vocal variety in the beginning would have maybe made the subject more obvious for me. Besides that, I think overall the topic was very appropriate given who your audience was, and I really liked how personalized and relevant it was with all the details, as I mentioned. The conclusion was very strong, more than public speaking instructions, and I thought it was very creative with the imaginary glass to really sort of set the environment for us as us being part of the toast. So, thank you.
Those were okay. So I would call for the timer's report for our evaluators.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Peter spoke for exactly 2 minutes, Scott for 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and Michael for 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So all three did qualify for time, and therefore I would ask if you could please cast your ballot for Best Evaluator, and I will pass around the golden baskets. And we'll tabulate those while you're doing your general evaluation. Thank you, Chuck.
Now, you're welcome. I would really encourage each of you to write comments to the speakers. I would beg to differ. The table topics is the most important part or exciting part. To me, actually, the one that is the most mundane is evaluation, because that's what makes each of us a better speaker. I have noticed that when you give a speech, and if you have a really good evaluation for yourself personally, you really grow from it. Table Topics is a lot of fun. I really look forward to that. And I would like to say that everybody was reticent to use the word of the day. And not only that, they failed to use the word of the day. And it's funny because the word of the day that I had prepared to bring, Peter, was timorous, which means the same thing. Timorous, of a timid disposition. I reproached myself with being so timorous and cautious. That was from a book by Daniel Defoe. Expressing or suggesting timidity. So one of the things of the word of the day is why it's so important is because in real life situations, there are many times when you have to use the absolutely proper word. I don't know if you've ever said something to someone and said, "What?" You know, and you didn't mean that at all. So if you don't use the proper word in real life, sometimes it can really cost you in one way or the other. For the speakers, your speech, Jesse, was one that you could have very easily added a lot more flavor to without doing anything else. If you had come up here with a Hawaiian lei, you know, the artificial ones even, that would have just added, I mean, you could have been outrageous and come up here with swim fins. That would have really, but I am a big believer in visuals. So if you really want to, see, we're not doing the ordinary. I mean, the ordinary would be just to give a speech. But if you want to make it colorful, you would have come with a lei or a straw hat or a picture of yourself with your family and children down at the beach. And I think that's really important when we do those things. Adolfo, the same thing with you. You should have had those little cheap plastic champagne glasses for us. And maybe not a shot of Jim Beam in there, but some orange juice, something like that would have really added a lot more flavor to the speech because we're trying to do something that's different. So you can't be timorous and you can't be reticent to be outrageous. You know, you want something people are going to walk out of here and say, "Wow, that Adolfo, that was really great," you know, the bubbly and everything. So don't be your ordinary self. That's what we're trying to do is improve and be something different. Eric, the one improvement that I would have for you that was not mentioned is get rid of the word guy. None of us should ever use the word guy. The word guy, I have a new definition for the word guy. The word guy is a lazy word. And we want to use words that are expressive and definitive. The one example that I always use, never say the guy on first base. If you're watching a baseball game, say the first baseman or the runner or the coach at first base, but never say the guy. Guy is not a word that we should ever hear in Toastmasters unless you're using it to someone's name is Guy. Or you're using it as part of your story for a flavor. When you address a group like ours and you say, "you guys," you know, you're leaving the ladies out. So that's why as Toastmasters we should use ladies and gentlemen. Or whatever the audience is, Toastmasters or whatever it is. So I'm coming down on you for that word, but it really grinds me. I hear it a lot, and it's not something that a Toastmaster should ever use, except under those special circumstances. The meeting is always great. Everybody steps up and does their job, and I see more and more as people come up, they're being more relaxed and they're understanding their responsibilities better. One thing I would suggest, especially for the Toastmaster or the Table Topics person, make your notes on this agenda. This is a really nice agenda, and put on there. If you're doing Table Topics, remind them of the word of the day. So when you come up here, you'll remember. Also, give reasons. Don't just tell people you're supposed to shake hands. The etiquette is that this is always protected, so to speak. So you never leave the podium unguarded, and you always shake hands before you leave. So I can't think of anything else other than it was a super meeting for a lot of people not being here, and everybody pitched in well. So keep up the good work.
Thank you,
So I know today for me as a Toastmaster, thank you for having me. I know this is a communication class and it's hard for us to be reticent, to be kind of silent and to reserve ourselves when we're supposed to be here being expressive and very informative. So thank you very much for having me as Toastmaster, and I'd like to conclude the meeting with Peter's message.
Thank you, Scott. Well done. Give Scott a big round of applause. And before we award the coveted ribbons, I'd like to ask our three guests today. Roy, if you could please stand up, tell us what you thought of the meeting, and being an experienced Toastmaster before, I'd love to hear your feedback.
That was really good, thank you. When I mentioned that I was a Toastmasters Club before, I was specifically to prepare for a specific presentation, which the club was allowed me to do. So many of these speeches I've never done, so it's always fascinating, especially today, coming and seeing people functioning within a structure rather than practicing for a new thing. So very interesting. Thank you. Very good.
Rita?
Well, it's very interesting. Actually, I came here and I knew there's something called Toastmasters, but what actually is happening it was a question mark, something that I didn't know anything about it. So it's interesting to hear everyone and know that each one here was kind of in my place. I don't have any issues communicating because as a personality, I'm resident. Yeah, English is my second language actually, so I'm having vocabulary, so I'm learning more. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I see a very successful meeting today. Some of the senior, more seasoned Toastmaster was able to kind of coach and mentor the whole meeting and jump up to give some instruction. And I really like this club, and you see a lot of energy and young Toastmaster in the club. I also see a few more seasoned Toastmasters able to kind of band together and support the whole club together, and I think this is a very successful meeting.
Thank you, Peter. It's really the whole point is that this is a place where you can practice this. This is a place where you're not in front of your colleagues, you're not in front of strangers, you're in front of people all who have gone through this at one point or another. There was a time when I couldn't stand in front of a room like this and say 2 words. And now I can stand in front of a room of 1,000, 2,000 people and feel like I can reach each of them individually and communicate effectively with them. But it took practice, and that's the whole point. Get into a place where you're in front of people that are going to give you good feedback, and then you get that feedback and improve on a week-to-week basis. So with that, I'd like to award our various coveted ribbons for today. First, I'd like to award for our first-timers, the people that came up here and spoke for the first time here at our club. I'd like to ask Rita if you could come up and take your first time. Thank you very much. Hold the ribbon up.
Cheese. 1, 2, 3. Cheese.
All right, thank you very much. And the second ribbon. If I could have Roy come up here. All right, coveted and well-known priceless ribbon.
Thank you.
Take it. Hold that one.
1,
The other way.
2. Oh, there you go. Cheese. That's better.
All right, thank you, Roy. All right, and then our best evaluator for today is none other than soon-to-be MBA scholar at the University of Chicago, Mr. Michael Tan.
All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Cheese.
All right, thank you, Michael. And finally, our best speaker of the day, among our 3 great speakers that we had today, is Mr. Adolfo Morataya. That was good. All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Cheese.
All right. Well done, Adolfo. Thank you very much. Okay, and with that, our meeting we're about to adjourn. Couple of notes. Next week, same time, same place. Our guests are more than welcome to come back next week if you're available, and you'll see what additional members that were absent today that'll be here as well. I believe in 2 weeks we are going to do our club humorous and evaluation contest, because we have our area contest coming up at the end of August. We want to get done about a week before that. So if you out there have a funny story you want to tell, or if you want to be involved in the evaluation contest, which I remember last year was the first contest I ever attended, and I saw Chuck win the Area E2 evaluation contest, and he was very, very good. It was very interesting because the evaluators all see the same speech, and then each comes in separate and gives their own evaluation, and they judge your evaluation based upon how you saw and how you would grade that individual speech. So that's the evaluation part. The humor speech contest is a lot of fun. You get to hear some really, really funny stories. So if you have a funny story out there, you have one you want to tell, and it's great practice to get in front of your peers, get in front of the club here, and practice that speech, then please let me know, let Adolfo know, and we can put you on the schedule. We can have a funny speech contest. I might even participate, even though I'm kind of the button down, not really that kind of funny type of speaker, but I have a couple of speeches in the can that I might bring out. I'm thinking of getting involved in this, so I think that would be a lot of fun. It'd be a good break for me, because for me that's getting out of my comfort zone, and that's what this is all about. So with that, our executive committee, we're going to meet briefly after the meeting. We're also going to meet with Peter briefly after the meeting as well. So with that, we are adjourned. Everybody have a great afternoon. Oh, Beatrice.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I always do this. When is the humor speech contest?
That is tentatively scheduled for Saturday, August 25th.
Saturday. And is it only among our club or other clubs too?
It is going to be the Area H1, so it's going to be
How many?
6 different clubs.
Okay.
No, only 2. Oh,
Oh, we're going to have
we
2
have
areas there?
2 areas.
Okay, so
more than
it's going to be H1 and...
about 12. 12
Okay,
clubs.
about 12 clubs. So we want to have a representative for both humor, speech, and for evaluation to send to
The
that.
date is September 25th, not August.
Oh, it's September 25th.
So it's the end of the month.
Oh, okay, so it's not until the end of September. Oh, okay, so we still have time. I'm sorry, I had the date wrong from our conference call the other day, and I was down, oh my gosh, it's end of August, so we have to put it together. So we do have a little bit of time. So I think what we'll do is we'll push that contest back then to the beginning of September, give us a little bit of time to get prepared for it. But we want to have...
Any limit on the number of people to join, and the time limit, would it be like?
What it would be is the time limit is still 5 to 7 minutes, correct? For the speech, for humor speech. Evaluation is the same, 2 to 3 minutes, 30 seconds to wrap up after the red light at 3 minutes. And we can have as many people inside the club that want to participate, but the club is only going to send one representative for each. One for humorous and one for evaluation. And then there'll also be alternates or backups in case the winners can't participate there at the end of the month. So we'll vote for a winner, and then there'll be first and second alternate, like we had for the international speech contest back in, what was that, back in March, the international speech and the table topics. So,
John, I just had,
yes.
the speech has to be an original humor speech. So you can take a story that you've already heard and put a twist on it. Sometimes it's even funnier like that. So it's something that you do, and the club is going to vote on who they're going to send. So the contest in the club is very important.
Yes.
So you will vote for the first and second, because in case the first one gets timorous or reticent to go, then the second place will be.
I'll drink to that.
Scott,
All right.
just sorry, but I just want to know the next step for the guests, like what do they do next if they want to get involved in this? Are you going to give them application?
If they want more information, we can provide information that we have from our club materials. If you want, we have handouts. There's also
No, like this next step, what do they do? Like, do they sign the application?
if they want to join, yeah, we can give them an application and take them through the process. Our VP of membership is not here today, but either myself or Adolfo, we can sit in with them and say, here's the next steps if you want to join us. We meet every week. There's 2 dues periods that are throughout the year, but again, we can explain that afterwards. So if they're interested in joining us, we can get with them afterwards and talk them through the process. So, but we love to have.
Just make sure you include the signing sheet and yes book, and we'll make sure that we contact you that way if we can immediately. But we can give you the application today if you want to.
Yes. Okay. So, any other business? All set? No, thank you, Beatrice. I appreciate that. So with that, we are adjourned.